Hey guys, Mount Vernon Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Um, Here to basically give my thoughts, my review on Spider-Man 2. Uh, yeah, I'm here to talk about it. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much for you guys. Like I said, not gonna spoil too much for you. As you know, but there is gonna be there is a couple of scenes I need to address. Um, and things like that. Uh, but I saw this movie Saturday actually, and I reported that I saw it and I enjoyed it, and look for a review later on. And so here I am to do it. Uh, so the question is, Chris, as the big Spider-Man fan that you are, he's your number one hero. Did you enjoy the movie? Yes, I did. I thought it was fun, entertaining. Um, I was not bored. I've seen other people's um, thoughts on it, and that's their opinion, and that's their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But to me, I thought it was fun, entertaining. I enjoyed it. Um, I would give it a 3 out of 5, no less. That's a good rounded number. Out of 5, yeah. Um, if I was going out of 10, then yeah, it would probably it'd be half of that as well. But I enjoyed it. Uh, the drama was there. I do have some nitpicks. One of the nitpicks is the pacing and the plot line, and it seemed a little jumbled at times, and it went this way and then it went that way, quick, and sometimes I didn't know where it was going. There were times you were just like, okay, where is this going now? Where does it go from here? Um, but I thought everybody pretty much lived up to their roles in the movie, and I'm going to talk about the cast as well. But it was fine to me. I enjoyed what I saw. You know, I don't have a lot of nitpicks. There were some nitpicks I had, and I'm going to get into the nitpicks. But like I said, the biggest thing was me, like a little bit of the plotting, and was kind of, there. But I did not hate the movie. That did not stop me from hating it or saying that it was trash or saying that it was garbage or saying that. And the one thing I did not do, and the one thing I did not do, and I'm gonna make, and let me make this perfectly honestly clear. I did not go into this movie expecting this to be on par with Captain America Winter Soldier. Because if you're going into that, then you are sadly going to be sadly mistaken, sadly just anything. And you can use any other adjectives from there, or any word from there, but because that's something that I try not to do. I don't go into these movies trying to compare from another superhero movie. I don't do that. I never have, and I never will. And that's what separates me from anybody else that does that. That's what separates the others from my other fellow Omni Geeks. Because I don't do that. Because if you do that, you can't enjoy the movie. That's words to live by on that one. But other than that, yeah, I did enjoy what I saw. It was fun. The opening scene alone just had me entertained. I was like, had me smiling. It was fun. The second to the enter the next scene with Peter, I should say, because the first scene we saw was not Peter in that, and that was kind of tragic. That was very tragic. But It was interesting, but tragic at the same time. Um, but it was fun. It was fun, indeed. I laughed. I enjoyed it. I did love the fact that Peter's ringtone was the classic, which is always a plus. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But but yeah, it was there. Like I said, the drama was there. Action was there when needed. It wasn't action saturated in terms of like action, 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 action. No, they really heavily was. This one was really heavy on the drama. The drama, excuse me. Definitely, you can't deny that, and that's fine. Um, as long as you keep me entertained, I'll be cool. So let's go with the casting. Mr. Andrew Garfield and Miss Emma Stone, the two, uh, they nailed it as always. Their chemistry with each other is so there. It really is. Nobody can deny that. It's not. It's so there, and it makes you so invested into them. You know what I'm saying? That's just my point of view. You know, it really did. It was just like watching them two as Peter and Gwen and the trials and tribulations they were going through together or separate. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. There were some funny scenes. You know, Peter. You know, Andrew as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He nails it. He has the wit of Peter, and just everything about him is there. And I'm just like, he's nailing it on each side, on both ends. He's showing Peter's smarts and showing what happens when he's Spider-Man. He can kind of let himself go and get over his shyness in a sense. So that was fun. Um, the graduation scene. Kat, I saw you. So yeah, I did get to see my friend Comic Uno. She, it was, I had to look, but I remembered, look for the hair, look for the hair, and there she is. It was great. I thought it was good to see, and I tweeted it after I finished watching the movie, and hashtag found Comic Uno was fun. But yeah, I found you, Kat. So uh, I found you. It was fun. So it was good to see you in there. Um, but that scene was fun too. Um, but I very much enjoyed that scene. Jimmy Fox as Electro. Now, I was for one that wasn't too at first fond of this. You know, I was like race changing a character. You know, I'm really, my progress of that is really starting to kind of get edged to the point I'm okay with it a lot now. I'm not to the point I'm like, this is so stupid. Why are you race changing for? Why are you doing that for? Was that really necessary? And it was a different Electro, and that's the best way to describe it. Total difference. His still name was Max Dillon, but it was a real, and in a sense, you as a fan and maybe somebody who may have gone through some of the things that Max has gone through, you can understand where he was coming from and why he felt the way he did and how his character was. He felt really sorry for Max, you know. Um, and when he became, even still, no matter how many times I've seen that, even in the TV spots they showed, when once again, you know, trailers spoiling too much is always a big thing with me. But even that, you know, still seeing that, it still was freaking eerie. I mean, him falling, he getting shot, and then falls into a vat of freaking electric eels, and it's just like, ouch, ouch. You know, I'm doing ET, ouch. ouch, ouch. It was like, oh my God, you know. But the way that version of how his origin of Electro, especially how he became Electro, was just terrifying. It was like you can only imagine what that must have felt like, and you can only imagine the fear, the pain, and everything what he went through. So that was one thing. Um, what is it? Devin DeHaan, I believe. I just know his last name, DeHaan, who played Harry. I was very impressed at his Harry. I enjoyed his Harry. I very much. I thought he was pretty decent. I wasn't like, you know. You know, once again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. My opinion was I thought he was decent. I thought he was really, really, dare I say, better than James Franco. Yeah, I thought he was. And see, I'm trying not to compare the two, but you know, somebody's probably going to ask me and say, "Who did you like better, James Franco or him?" And I thought he was a little bit better than Franco, especially when he was the Goblin. It was like his mind took a left. You know that old saying from Bugs Bunny. I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque. His mind took that turn and it went, and woo, But yeah, he was Chris Cooper as Norman. Even though he was only in it for a short while, it was, especially between him and Harry, it was there. That that Osborne relationship, and even still on he was a bastard. It was like still, I'm like, fuck you, Norman. It's like, fuck you, Norman. Screw you, Norman Osborn. Like, it was just like, yeah. And I was showing my brother, I was like, look at his hands. Look at his hands. I was like, look at his freaking hands. And it was just like, oh. It was like, oh my God. It was like, whoa, what the hell? And then hearing the big revelation of what's going to happen to Harry, it was like, ooh. And things like that. It was just like, hmm. Uh, so yeah, those are definitely there. Um, Miss Sally Field, Aunt May, who played Aunt May. No complaints. Miss Sally Field always gives her performance. Always tries to deliver. I've never seen this woman green at anything she does. In my opinion, she's a legend, and I just she's always at the top notch of her game. And I loved her scenes with her and Peter. Like I said, the drama in this movie was there, and it really, really, those scenes with her were just like, especially how she felt about Peter, and in a sense, why she kept secrets from Peter about her father, about his father, things like that. And it was just like, and in a sense, it's like that when that scene came up, when she started the way she felt about Peter, and that right there, literally, in a sense, I for one was like, right there, that would be something damn right what Aunt May would tell Peter. Almost like, yeah, you're my kid. I'm the one that raised you. It's like, you know, you felt that. I did. I sure did. The scenes with Peter and Gwen, the love, and, I felt that. I felt that. And that, that can get me, because I'm a sucker for romance anyway. I'm like, yo, that stuff's, I'm a sucker for that stuff. Romance, fighting for love and things like that. That's gonna get me. So yeah, Miss Sallyfield was there. Paul Gandolfini as the Rhino, or Alexi Savox, who becomes the Rhino. Um, that's one of the things I was glad that they kept him being Russian, because the Rhino was Russian. In comics, he's Russian. He's not American or from Jersey, and no disrespect to New Jersey at all. But he's not American. He's Russian. But I thought they made him too much of the stereotypical kind of Russian type from the comics, in a sense, like he's like the two cartoony-ish Russian characters, like psychotic and I'm Russian and everything like that. I will destroy you. Come, I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I thought he just came off too forced. His act, it was a little too forced for me. I was like, no, it's not working. You know. But like I said, that first scene with him, and he was only in it for that one scene, and then he was gone. In that scene, and then we didn't see him for a long time. Now, this movie was not a cluster, excuse my language, fuck, like a lot of people thought it was going to be. And I will not compare it to movies like Batman and Robin, because it wasn't. No way. Not in my opinion. Not in my book. No way. No way, no how did I look at this movie as being like that. If that's how you feel, that's your opinion. It's not mine. But like I said, that drama was there, guys, and it kept you. When the action was needed, it was needed. But I will say the pacing was a little bit interesting, and some plots were going here and there, and it's just like, okay. But anytime, the cast was great. That's all I can say. The cast gave it their all, and they were doing what they were provided, and they pretty much did. The soundtrack, the music, the score, it's fantastic. Hans Zimmer, with an ensemble cast of greats, just really made them. The Electro soundtrack was great. Just the opening soundtrack for Spider-Man when he's just web slinging was beautiful. I was just like, and you can understand why I'm really high on Hans Zimmer's composing. I love it. It's just like, yeah, I love his music. Good stuff. It was good to see Ravencroft. It was good. There was just a lot of interesting things in the movie that I enjoyed. One of the great scenes, and like I said, this is one of the spoilers for me, is when we got to see, the dynamics of, Peter and Gwen. They're going through their relationship. Peter, he's struggling to keep the promise that he kept to Captain Stacy. He's seeing Captain Stacy kind of like an after image of himself, like almost like a ghost or so. And it's always like he's there with him, like anytime he's talking to Gwen or something, he's there, and he's like, what about your promise to me and everything like that, which was interesting. Him and Gwen trying to say it, but that's not his choice to make. And I thought that was really good to have Gwen say stuff like that, not say like, you should live up, keep your promise that you kept to my father. No, that's not his decision to make, even though, things like that. And she really was strongly portrayed in this movie, really much. She had a combination of MJ, which I liked. It was like, I saw MJ, the things of Peter and her, like, it was there. She wouldn't take no for an answer. She wasn't going to stop. She can bring, her ingenuity to Peter's alter ego's life as well, and that was intriguing to me. especially with the scene with Electro. You know, it was great. And then once Harry and came into the picture as Goblin, you know, it was like, holy shit. It was like his look. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody says about the damn thing. I apologize for that. About that. I don't care what anybody says. His look was eerie. It was freaking eerie. And he missed the young Dehan. He played it very well. I was like, oh man, you know. But I will nitpick at this once again. It's another spoiler. He was easily to detect that Peter and Spider-Man are the one just by looking at Gwen, and just like he looks at Gwen, he looks at Spider-Man, he looks at, and I'm like, Peter, and I'm like, really? I was like, just like that, he was able to, and I'm like, okay, I got it. Yeah, I've seen worse, but you know, I was like, okay. But then once he took, I was like, all right. And it was a good chase scene, and once again, you know, and you got to blame sometimes the TV spots because we all saw this kind of coming. But still, no matter what, as a fan and as a follower of Spider-Man who's been reading him for over 20-something years, and I remember this death so well, so vividly, like the back of my hand. Sure, it didn't happen on the Queensboro Bridge, but it happened. The death of Gwen. And you want to talk about just massively shocking, and it was almost like, how are they going to do this live action wise? They upped it, and it made you feel even more. When I saw that, I went, fuck! Like, I cursed. I literally cursed, and I was like, fuck, and I was like, oh my god. Because what really, it was the symbolism of it, is they put it in slow motion, which even made it worse when Gwen is falling. Spoiler. And when Peter's web line is coming at her, you can literally see it opening up like a hand and I was like, oh, like that really got to me too. I'm like, oh, and I knew and bam! Not only, it wasn't her neck broke, she cracked her freaking head. Her head smashed on her hand smashed, and her head smashed, and I was like, oh my god, like, that right there just was like, you heard it. It was like, fuck. And, oh my god. That really was like, mm, mm, you know, and it made you feel. It was like, because you've seen this before, but illustrated, never live action wise, or just motion wise, and that made it even more. It captured more of the drama and hurt for that, and I was just like, you know, you felt it, and you know, as a Spider-Man fan, you know, you see him lose his first love, and it's just like, once again, you know, when you read it, it still hurt. When I read it, it hurt, and I did shed a tear. And when you see it, then my eyes got misty on that scene. I really got misty-eyed, and because you felt it, and you know, you just saw how much that affected Peter, so much so that he quit. spoiler alert once again, quit being Spider-Man for about 5 months. He's not Spider-Man, and we saw, but it was there, and I was really shocked at that once again. So yeah, wow, that was really really, but she played it well, and and it's kind of funny because that was the scene Miss Emma Stone was looking forward to, and I'm like, she was really looking forward to the death, and I'm like, it's a iconic death, and sure they twisted the location a little, they changed the location, but it it was there, and it just made it even worth seeing it even more. I I can't even that's the best way I can describe that scene. It wasn't even like she felt her death. No, she the impact, and we saw that. Now, do we see the Man in Black, as they call him? The mysterious man that we've been seeing. Yeah, he was back in it. And he met up with Harry once again at Ravencroft. So Harry, once again, yeah, we didn't see all the villains die in this. There's this notion that the villains have to die in these superhero movies, and it was good to see that villain didn't die, and we got to see that. I guess you can see the birth of a certain team that's coming, and we saw them. We saw them all. We saw certain characters. We saw another characters, and then they showed whatever with the next, and that was interesting. And yeah, we didn't see Rhino until the end of the movie. He was at the end. Spoiler again, he was at the end. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't a cluster. He wasn't there until the end, and I thought that was a good way to segue to end the movie. And I thought it was really interesting that the symbolism of what Spider-Man stands for in this movie meant something. Not just to himself, and to Gwen, but also to the people of New York. Just the way he was a symbol. He was a symbol of hope, and and you saw that. And I love that scene, the final scene. I thought it was interesting to put, and that was really cool. But with the other characters, there was cool. But one thing I wish I wish he was still in it was Flash. I wish Flash was still in the movie, because Flash is a big role into the Spider-Man mythos as well. Did we get to see a certain character, female character, another character that is kind of important to Peter's life, but she's on the wrong side of the tracks at times? Somewhat. Um, we also got to see a certain loudmouth pickle puss, but not live, not in person, but Peter, emailing him, which is fine. Uh, and we got to see some of that thing. But like I said, guys, the drama, the movie was fine. I had a fun time with the movie. I didn't hate it. Uh, there were some nitpicks that, but I wasn't going to go too much into the nitpicks. If you want to know more, just ask me in the comments or so what you thought about the movie. If you hated the movie, fine. That's your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I didn't hate it. And am I being biased? No. Because I wasn't bored of the movie. if I'm bored, then that's gonna be I might hate it. I'm not gonna like it. But I think, but I also like to address the fact that maybe there are certain people out there that put too much high expectations into these movies now, that they want everything to be so perfect, and they're never gonna be perfect, never. Um, you tell me one superhero movie out there that was perfect from beginning to end, and you could tell me and explain it to me why. And explain, okay, but if you can't, if you're just gonna say, well, yeah, this movie was perfect, then catch you in a lie. Like, okay, give me details why. None of these movies are perfect, but we should be thankful that these movies are coming out, because years ago, once again, and to quote a friend of mine, we weren't seeing a lot of these movies now, right? Years ago, we weren't, but now they're out there, and they're trying to please not just my community, which is the people who supported these characters from thick and thin, but the average moviegoer fans as well. And sometimes you're not going to get everything right. You're not going to be able to please everybody, and I understand that. But to me, I was pleased at it, and I'm looking forward to the next and the next, and see where this goes. What changes? Will we see, the enter? Will we, what's going to happen to Peter? When will MJ be entered into the fold now? You know, things like that. Uh, you know, those are certainties that I'm hoping to see. You know, but every time one thing I always thought would be really, what I always thought was really cool, when Peter was fighting Electro, I was like, man, this would have been so cool if Fox had, or at Sony had literally had Peter create his insulated suit. That would have been so cool. Like, showcases not just more of his brains. Like, okay, I gotta insulate my suit so I don't get hurt or something like that. That'd have been so cool. There were certain things I wish they were in there, but it was, bottom line, guys, and this is just coming from me. Sorry about that. I was entertained. I enjoyed the movie. Do I recommend it? Are you a fan? If you're a fan and you respect Spider-Man, the Spider-Man mythos, then you're probably gonna enjoy it. But I would never force anybody to watch these movies, but I felt it was good. I enjoyed it very much. So, like I said, out of 5.3, if I was doing a 10, yeah, it would be 4.5, in a sense. Uh, and I just like to say to Miss Emma Stone, um, thank you, my dear, because you did a good job. And I like to say to my friend Comic Uno, Cat, I found you. Cat, I found you. It was good. But other than that, I rambled off at the mouth long enough, guys. Just giving my thoughts and my opinion on the movie. What will be the next movie I see prior to Godzilla and X-Men? I still want to see. I want to go. I want to see. Uh, uh, Brick House. Paul Walker's latest movie. I want to see that. And there's another movie I wanted to see, but like I said, these are my movie reviews, and no matter what, if it takes me a while to see them, they take me a while, but I'm still going to give my thoughts on them. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 was very, very fun. It was fun. Wasn't great, wasn't perfect, but it was fun, and I enjoyed it very much. So thank you very much. If you don't like what I had to say, that's your problem. If you like what I had to say, thank you. Look through it through my eyes. The way I look at it may be different from the way you look at it, but I enjoy it. So you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time for another review, movie review, and you guys have a good day.